foundation started with count them y'all, two $250 scholarships apiece. Today, we can give up to 35 scholarship grants annually, some being $1,000, some being $1,500. These go to children of enlisted service personnel of the Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard that have a financial need in obtaining their college education, their vocational, business, or other training education that they need, enabling them to be a more valuable member of society. NWCA clubs and members have often stood in the gap where services were needed. The Ombudsman program started in 1970 by Admiral Elmo Zumwalt from his famous Z Grand 24 is absolutely no exception. Admiral Zumwalt, if you look at his Z Grand 24, sought to emphasize the importance of the Navy wife as a member of the Navy team. In fact, NWCA was one of the existing organizations whose activities Admiral Zumwalt wished to expand upon when creating this official representative of the Navy wives known as Ombudsman. Interestingly, and not surprisingly, many NWCA leaders were amongst the first ombudsmen. That trend continues today. For example, I've served as a command ombudsman, a region ombudsman, an ombudsman trainer, an ombudsman assembly chairperson, and I've sat the Ombudsman Quality Management Board when it was called that. Now it's called a symposium. I've done this many times in my Sailors 20 plus ongoing Navy career. Now here's what I like, because some of us are kind of visual people, and we have to see it to know it. So you know I'm one. I would like all of the former or currently serving ombudsmen that are in this room to please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, every single one of these ladies either is or has been a member of NWCA Memphis 119, and all are currently members of the organization. Thank you for your multiple means of service. Please sit down. All right. You heard me say in 1935 and 1936, enlisted spouses. Well, since then, we have opened our doors and our arms wide, and we welcome everyone, even officer spouses, ladies, just saying, okay? And in 1984, NWCA received a federal charter from Congress. We are a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization with 32 clubs across the globe. On average, in any given year, these members give between $150,000 and $200,000 in their respective communities. In any given year, these members give between $150,000 and $200,000 hours of volunteer service in their respective communities. That's pretty impressive in my book. So with that in mind, there are a couple other services I want to highlight. We've talked about the Ombudsman program. Some of you are familiar with a program called Compass. Now back in the day when the oceans filled in and the Ark arrived and my sailor and I were in Hawaii, that program, the pilot program, was Skills, Understanding, Balance, and Support, SUBS. Rosemary Ellis, Admiral Ellis's wife, started that pilot program with a number of us there, and when they were fortunate enough for all of us to be transferred to Washington, D.C., were able to convince people that this needed to be a Navy-wide program, and hence Compass was born. Again, I know I am not the only mentor for Compass. So ladies, if you are a mentor or have been a food angel for Compass, please stand. Currently or formerly. Amazing. Thank you very much. Please be seated. More on that in a minute. We also have a sexual assault program. Back in the day, when I was an advocate, it was called SABI. I believe today it is the SAPR program. The names changed. on a regular basis. In our day, we stood to watch bill in pairs, and that's a service that continues today. I don't know if there are any in this club, so are there any who are trained or being trained to speak or to be advocates? Please stand. Excellent. Thank you. I knew you ladies wouldn't let me down. All right. Now, within this expansion, that we've had from 1935 to now, NWCA Memphis 119 arrived here in August of 1953. And today we do celebrate 60 years of service that 119 has offered this military and civilian community, where they often find a way to be the change, meeting the ever-expanding needs of the military spouse. Like flowers, we do bloom where we're planted, and as military spouses, we bloom where the Navy, in our case, sends us. Again, celebrating 60 years of NWCA blooming here in Millington. So enough about the organization as a whole. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about you, the members of Memphis 119, and all of the service you've provided, how you've continued to be that change in this military community. Your growth has put you in the running to be one of the largest clubs in our organization. So I think the soil here is pretty rich for blooming kindness, charity, friendship, and service opportunities. So what is our mission at NWCA? It's education and charity. What I want to start with is charity, because there is a lot of that in this club and in this area. You heard some of it mentioned already, like the We Care Supper that they do on a regular basis. I don't know if you realize they also volunteer from time to time in your community food bank. They adopt children through the Children Incorporated. As I understand it, they're on their third Jody, which is kind of remarkable that it's only been 3 because they've been doing this since 1975. Almost a lot of time. I need my fingers. They also support a shelter for women and children called Mother Teresa's. They do their summer program.